Hello, I'm Julia, and this is my voice and speech warm-up, going through the Linklater's warm-up. So first, we start off getting into our body, creating a physical awareness. My favorite warm-up to do from this section is first we start feet, make sure they're hip-width apart, right under, so that you're feeling that support coming up through your heels, all the way up through your hips, making sure your shoulders are over your hips, and then your ears are directly over your shoulders, so that you have this nice straight line, and your body is supported. Then, from there, you want to start by raising your elbows up. Now here you want to make sure that your shoulders are completely loose, but you're feeling that tension coming up specifically from your elbows, almost as if there was a puppeteer pulling you up by your elbows, but then you're going to let the rest of your arm kind of hang loose and hang down. Then from there, after you start to feel that tension, you're going to pretend that the puppeteer pulls you up from your wrists. Then you're kind of letting that tension build from your shoulder all the way up to your wrist, but your fingers are still hanging loose. So let yourself feel that tension for a minute, still making sure that your shoulders are dropped and that you're still check in with yourself, that your ears are over your shoulders. Then from there, you want to pretend that the puppeteer is pulling every single one of your fingers up and they're reaching toward the sky, but your shoulders are still pressed. So you're feeling that tension through your arms, but you're releasing in your shoulders. Let that tension build for a minute. Really reaching every single finger, even your thumb, even your pinky. And then you're going to release. So you're going to take your fingers, release the fingers. From there, you want to acknowledge that, what that relaxation feels like. Also, keep in mind that your knees should be loose. I was just tightening mine, so I want to loosen them up. Also make sure your belly is nice and loose, allowing for your breath to come in as you are feeling the tension in only your arms. Now you're going to drop your wrists, let just your elbows hang up because the puppeteer cut his strings. So let your arms hang down, feel what that relaxation feels like. Once again, make sure your knees aren't locked. I have a tendency to do that, so that's something that I always make sure to check on, is that I'm unlocking my knees and that I'm pushing my shoulders down. All right, now we are going to allow our elbows to have that string cut, and we're gonna let them down and just feel that release for a minute. Getting a deep breath, letting our body knows what that relaxation feels like. Just kind of taking my head to each side, really loosening up that neck area. All right, next part of the warm-up in physical awareness is we are just going to roll down our spine, still making sure that we begin in this fully straight line position. And then we are just going to drop down one vertebrae at a time as we release our breath, making sure that we're not holding tension in our knees, not our shoulders or our head, and we just start to roll down. So you start at the beginning of your head, let these first few vertebrae roll down, and then kind of let your head hang. You're not collapsing your upper body yet, you're just feeling that release in your neck. And from there, you want to release down to your waist, going one vertebrae at a time, being super deliberate about where you are releasing. Kind of picture in your head them unlocking from your spine. And then also make sure that you're not tightening your knees like this. Make sure that they're just loose and in your body. Let your head really hang down. And you just kind of hang a little bit. I like to grab onto my elbows so that I can really get a deeper hang. So you're just gonna stay here for a minute, feeling that release, a little shake, and then you bend your knees and begin to roll up. Now this journey up has to be just as deliberate as the journey down. You have to feel each vertebrae locking into place as you travel up your spine. Slowly, slowly till you get to your mid-spine. Make sure you're breathing because you don't want that tension to come from holding your breath because that won't do anything for you. All right, then here, let your head hang for a minute, releasing your neck. Then slowly build up your neck. There you go, give it a little shake. And then just for a final part of the physical awareness warm-up, I like to get my feet a little bit wider than my hips so that you can sit into your pelvic floor. And then you're gonna pretend that there's a pendulum coming right from your pelvis, and you're just gonna swing it forward, not moving or collapsing your upper body, just really allowing your hips to open up. And this is really good for your lower back and just to kind of awaken the pelvis and awaken that diaphragm, because a lot of what we did before focused on up here. And this allows me to just ground myself a little bit too. All right. Once you've done a lot of that, we're gonna move on to part 2. We're gonna move into breathing. I'll come a little forward for this so you can see it better. So first with breathing, I like to start by licking my lips and allowing the breath. What you're gonna do is you're going to allow the breath to come out and kind of feel that coolness around your lips. And then only when you feel the impulse are you gonna let the air come back in. You don't have to hold your breath or anything, but as long as you are exhaling, eventually it will come back in. So I wanted to describe it first because while I'm breathing, don't want to describe it. So you're gonna lick your lips. Let that breath come out. Also make sure that when you are breathing out, your jaw is relaxed. You're not pursing your lips. It's just nice and relaxed. So. Then from there, we're gonna move on to making an F sound. So kind of just release that breath on a only allow the breath to come in when you feel that impulse. If you want, walk around, get a sense of your space. In this case, I have a very small space to work with, but it will still work. Now we're going to move on to touch of sound while you're walking around your space, still feeling that. You're going to look at an object and you're going to take it in and then release it on a ha-ha, allowing yourself to feel that vibration begin to bubble. So I'm going to look at this lamp right here, breathe it in and release it on a ha-ha. Not forcing it, not doing too much, just ha-ha. 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 Making sure that every part of you is released. Ha-ha. Really allow yourself to connect with the objects. You can't really see a lot of the objects in my room, but right here, I'm looking at another lamp. taking it in, letting it fill my body, and then releasing it from my diaphragm and pelvis on a ha-ha. Making sure that your jaw is nice and dropped on a ha-ha. Next, we're going to take that that touch of sound, and move it to pitch. So I actually do have a piano, so I'm going to just make sure that I can play that. And we're going to start on a middle C and just move up, feeling it on that pitch, along the ha-ha. So, oh, she'll start a little lower. There we go. Ha-ha. 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 You don't want to be too tense. You want to just ha-ha. Ha-ha. Moving up. Ha-ha. 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 Gotta loosen my neck a little bit. Ha-ha. 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 One more. Ha-ha. Ha-ha. I know in class I usually start a little bit lower, but I tend to have a higher register, so I want to get up there a little more. And then we'll go back down. We'll start here. Ha-ha. 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 Before I was feeling it more up here, and now that I'm moving down, you feel it really in your chest and feel it dropping down into your pelvis. Ha-ha. 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 Usually I can't go that low, so this really allows me to get in and relax so that I can allow the lower notes to come out. Ha-ha. 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 So that is touch of sound. Once again, just allowing it to come from your pool of sound that's happening down here. When you're doing this, you want to imagine that there's a little pool or a lake, and you just are dropping in a stone, which allows the vibrations to create and emanate from your lower register, from your lower pelvic region. So yeah, that's where the ha-ha comes from. Finally, we are going to do vibrations. You're going to take that center of gravity coming from right here, that little pool of sound, and you're going to allow it to vibrate up through your body on a hum. So it originates from here as you breathe in. Hum. Allowing it to flow through. Make sure your knees aren't locked. Hum. Hum. Really make sure your neck is released so you can feel that vibration right at your lips. Hum. Hum. Shake it out. Make sure you're feeling those vibrations everywhere. And then as you're shaking, you're just going to want to let it out on a ha. So you can walk around as you do this. Make sure you're loose and just ha. Really feel it come from deep. And you gotta ha. You can do a few roll downs if you want. I'm feeling a little tense today because, you know, it's finals week. So I'm just going to do one more roll down, bringing back in that physical awareness. Myself just fully release. And And roll up, letting out. If you wanna, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. And then there you go. That is my version of the Linklater warm-up that we've done. Thank you.